Hey there, cozy builders. My name is Sam, and welcome to my Tiny Glade series. In this series, I take inspiration from either the daily Tiny Glade pre-builds, real historical buildings from around the world, or, like in this case, mythical locations. I then try and create a beautiful scene within a 1-hour time frame. After that, I add some fast-forward magic and share a few fun tidbits related to the build. With the recent release of Sleep Token's new album, Even in Arcadia, I wanted to pay tribute to my love for their music and decided to take loose inspiration from the imagery showcased in their song visualizers to create my very own Arcadia. Arcadia is both a real and mythical place rooted in Greek culture. The real Arcadia is located in a remote mountainous region in the central Peloponnese of Greece, while the mythical Arcadia, featured prominently in Greek mythology, is an idealized imaginary paradise. Both the real and mythic versions parallel each other with their emphasis on remote, rustic wilderness and simple living rooted in old traditions, a symbol of harmony with nature. However, today I wanted to focus on the origins of the utopian Arcadia and how it originated and evolved through time. Today, the word Arcadia is used to describe a place of peace and harmony, often in contrast to the fast-paced modern world. It evokes a nostalgic dream of untouched nature and innocent living, a philosophical ideal, like a personal inner paradise or a yearning for simplicity. But the ideas and myths surrounding Arcadia go all the way back to 700 BCE. Homer and Hesiod were two of the earliest and most influential poets in ancient Greek literature around the 8th and 7th century BCE. They helped shape Greek mythology, religious ideas, and early conceptions of the cosmos and society. Hesiod, a poet, cosmologist, and practical philosopher, was known for his epic poems Theogony and Works and Days, which revolved around the origins of the gods, morality, justice, human labor, and humanity's decline from a golden past. While not focused on Arcadia directly, Hesiod's concept of a lost golden age heavily influenced later portrayals of Arcadia as a pure, pre-civilized paradise. He described earlier generations of humanity who lived in harmony with nature, an idea that deeply inspired later pastoral and Arcadian myths. The poet, mythmaker, philosopher, and educator Homer was known for the epic poems The Iliad and the Odyssey, which depicted heroism, fate, war, and the gods' involvement in human affairs. He referenced Arcadia geographically, a rugged region tied to shepherds and the god Pan, the half-goat deity of nature, music, and the wild. Pan is the quintessential Arcadian god, untamed and deeply in tune with the rhythms of nature. Theocritus of the 3rd century BCE was a Greek poet who developed pastoral poetry and romanticized rural life, planting the early seeds for Arcadia's idealization. His collection of short poems called Idylls cover topics from bucolic life to mythological scenes and personal reflections. While Theocritus didn't explicitly set his poems in Arcadia, the rustic, peaceful world he created idealized an Arcadian-like landscape, often featuring shepherds or goat herds, singing, competing in poetry, or yearning for love. His pastoral poems defined the genre and inspired later influential poets like Virgil. Virgil, one of the most important literary figures in Roman history, lived during the Roman Republic and created works like the Aeneid, modeled on Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, telling the story of a Trojan hero who escapes Troy and eventually helps found the Roman race. His Eclogues, a collection of 10 poems, frequently evoked Arcadia as a setting or symbol. These poems explored love, loss, politics, and a hope for peace through a lyrical and sometimes melancholy countryside. However, Virgil reimagined Arcadian themes in the Italian countryside, blending real and imagined landscapes. The myth and idea of Arcadia as an idealized paradise had a resurgence during the 15th and 16th centuries. The classical antiquity became reimagined not as a rustic countryside, but as an idealized paradise. With deep symbolic ties to Renaissance literature and art, it was often depicted as a dreamlike land, a mythic place untouched by time, death, or conflict. During this time, Jacopo Sannazaro wrote the poem Arcadia that became hugely influential. It marked a major turning point in Western literature, one that redefined how people imagined Arcadia and helped establish the pastoral genre as a serious literary form. It was one of the first works to blend prose and poetry to tell a romantic story set in a dreamlike Arcadia. This innovative structure created a lyrical, flowing story that felt both intimate and elevated, appealing to Renaissance readers' growing appreciation for emotion, beauty, and form. Essentially, this poem helped reframe Arcadia as a timeless Eden. Nicolas Poussin's two paintings, Et in Arcadia Ergo, popularized the idea that even in an ideal paradise, death is present. His paintings depicted a group of shepherds in Arcadia discovering a tomb with that very inscription. This visually underscores the idea that death is inevitable, even in the most idealized life, turning Arcadia into a symbol of beauty and evanescence. A reminder that death is ever present, even in ideal places or times. From the Renaissance onward, Arcadia took on a symbolic meaning in European culture. During the 18th and 19th centuries, Romantic poets and philosophers in England, France, and Germany evoked Arcadia as a symbol of lost innocence and harmony with nature, especially during the rise of industrialization. It was depicted once again as a pastoral utopia, free from the corruption of civilization. Arcadia is still popular today, though not always in name. Its themes and imagery remain deeply influential across art, music, literature, lifestyle movements, and now even in this cozy digital creation. It's a timeless metaphor that continues to adapt to each generation's dreams and anxieties. But beyond the idea of the utopian Eden paradise, I think it's always important to remember, even in Arcadia, I, death, am. And there we have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this build and learning about the history and idealism surrounding Arcadia. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to stay up to date on my next upload. Also, let me know if you'd be interested in me continuing with this theme, as I think it would be fun to dive deeper into the lore of sleep and other tokens surrounding the band. Thanks for spending this time with me in Tiny Glade, and I'll see you next time. Bye!